What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode review of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Today is episode 6 titled One World, One People. And this is the season final, the final episode of the series, or hopefully season, but I'll get into that, of the show. And does this final episode stick the landing? Does it stick it better than WandaVision? In my opinion, yes. Much better than WandaVision. That WandaVision final was not great. But this one sticks the landing very much so. And one thing I want to mention right off the bat, just right off the bat before I forget again, because I forgot every freaking time, is that Isaiah Bradley's nephew, Eli Bradley, is a character in the comics. He's like a member of the Young Avengers. His name is Patriot. I keep forgetting to mention that every episode Isaiah showed up, I was going to bring him up. That, yeah, Eli is his superhero in the comics, but I kept forgetting every freaking time. And I just want to mention it now before I forget, and someone maybe calls me out on it, like, why have you not mentioned that? Which probably no one would, but still, I want to mention it before I keep forgetting. Yeah, but mention it there, done, good. Alright, so the episode overall. This episode was quite good. It was really good. I think, I don't know where I would rank it. It could be one of the best, my favorite of the season. I don't really know. It's hard to say, but like, the episode itself was quite good. So, of course, we wrap all the storylines, mostly, but in a good way. So of course the Flag Smashers are defeated, Walker's storylines wrapped up for now, and like other stuff. And Sam's now new Captain America, officially. He's gotten his costume, which looks fantastic, by the way. It looks exactly like it does in the comics with the wings and everything. It looks sick. The first time it shows up on screen, I was like, that looks good. That looks really cool, really good. I'm glad it's there. Of course, it's made by the Wakandans. His wings are also vibranium now, so they won't break as easily, because they broke quite easily majority of the time in the films and such. So that's awesome. And like his action sequences in the episode are quite good. Like the stuff in the air when he's chasing out that helicopter is really good, and when he's fighting, Batroc and such, like, it's really cool. Just so many great stuff, and like it's cool seeing him utilize the shield, but also his wings in combat. It makes him a very unique fighting style, more than like Steve's fighting style, because he has the wings. It's quite cool. And of course, they take down the Flag Smashers, and it's quite awesome. The whole sequence, like the first 30 minutes of the episode is a big fight and stuff, and the last minutes of the episode are like all the rest afterwards is like very subtle and quiet, and just kind of slowly wrapping up everything else in the show. I feel like, Flag Smashers had a good overall, conclusion of Carly. Of course, she dies, which I predicted. I didn't think she would survive the show. Sharon Carter kills her, which we learned she's also the power broker, which everyone predicted. So, at least this fan theory came true. Not like WandaVision's when everyone's like, oh, Mephisto's gonna be in it. And we're like, nah. So, I've heard some people are not quite thrilled about it being power broker, because people are kind of like, okay, that's not great. I don't mind it, honestly, because Sharon was never exactly one of the most thrilling or interesting characters in the MCU. Like, there wasn't much to her in Winter Soldier or Civil War. I was liking when she first showed up. I'm still not quite sure about where it's gonna go with her now being a villain of sorts. Because now, as Sam kept his promise, he kept it. Damn it. He got her pardon and stuff. She's now back in the States now. They've offered her original job position and stuff, so working for the government, and she's now Agent Carter again. But she's evil. She's the power broker, and she, of course, there's an after credits scene in the episode where she calls someone and says, we now have access to a lot more stuff now, so not really sure what that'll lead into. Like, it's possible she could be a villain we might see pop up in a couple of things possibly, because there's a lot of stuff you could do with this. I personally I wasn't shocked by it because everyone was theorizing it, so I'm like, okay, I guess she is a power broker. But yeah, honestly, I don't mind it. I think it's kind of interesting if they can make this something very interesting. This will definitely help Sharon Carter be a better character than she was previously. So I'm excited for where that goes. And of course she kills Carly. Sam and Carly have a fight. Sam refuses to fight her. He's not gonna do that. And Carly has the upper hand. She's about to shoot Sam, but then Sharon shoots her instead, and she dies. Which then leads to Sam giving off and also Anthony Mackie giving a great speech in the episode where he talks about all these comparisons, how don't call Carly and the Flag Smashers or terrorists. They're fighting for what they think was right, and they're like, but what do we call them then? And they're saying stuff like, oh, well, what do you think people would call you? You're forcing your guys with guns, forcing them in these camps to stay while they're homeless and stuff. What do you think people are going to call you guys and such? It's a big speech. I can't really go over everything. But he talked about how other stuff like how I know there's going to be people out there who's going to look at me and hate me for being the new Captain America and stuff like that. And I can feel it. I can see that a lot of people's eyes and reactions right now. But, I don't care. I'm still here. I'm not like, your Steve Rogers, your blonde hair, blue eyes, like white guy. But I'm here and I don't care. I'm not going to let anyone stop me from fighting for what I want to fight for. So, which is great. And other stuff how like, the senators, you guys got to step up and do your part. You got to do better, or else the next sorry, or else the next Carly will step up themselves, and you don't want to see 2.0. It's a great speech overall. He makes a lot of fantastic points. The direction of Sam, like both him and Bucky, like have their characterization, development, and growth in this whole show was fantastic. But with Sam particularly, it was really good, just showing, as a character I mentioned before in prior reviews, Sam, I always liked Falcon in the movies, but there was not a lot to him, because we never got a chance to really dive into him that much. But we have now, and it's just fantastic seeing all this growth for his character and learning more about his viewpoint and such, and like how he views everything, and how you see a lot more why he was chosen to be Captain America. He has a big heart. He's like there to fight for the people. Like he refused to fight Carly because like he's not about fighting someone who's just fighting for something that they want to improve. Like it's a fantastic character, and I think they've really made Sam into his own at this point. It's quite good. And Bucky also, like I said, of course, the episode, he finally gets the conclusion of his arc where we see him go to Miyazaki's house and he tells him about his son, how he killed him back in the day, and you don't really see the aftermath, but we do get the impression that he's probably no longer a friend with him, but at least he told him now, and you do see a part of it where his like a little shrine he has to his son in his house, which have there's like candles lit everywhere. You do see kind of the smoke afterwards of like the candles now being blown out. Because I think I recall he said that he has this shrine there. Like, has that just keeps burning until, he knows his son's, like, is at peace. Like, he's at peace about what happened to his son, or, like, knows the outcome of what happened with him. So now he does, of course, and it's a very quick scene, but it's a very sad scene, just seeing Bucky starting to slowly break down and trying to tell him this and stuff. And, he's no longer a friend of him, clearly, but, like, he's at least told now, so now he's at peace. He's starting to, like, he feels better about himself now, and he even gives his, the book that Steve gave him to now his therapist, and he has all the names crossed off in it, and says, thanks for all your help. So, and other stuff, of course, the episode ends with, like, him and Sam at Sam's place with the boat and his sister, and they have a little party. It's nice little fun, showing, Sam and Bucky every now come together as, like, good buddies now, which is awesome. Steve's probably very happy about that. But other stuff in the episode as well, so, of course, also John Walker, honestly, in a nice turn of events. So John shows up with his, crappy, put-together, homemade Captain America shield, which almost immediately, one of the first punches it takes from one of the Flag Smashers, it gets a big dent in it. And by the end of the episode, you see it's like breaking apart, denting, and such. It's like I mean, we all kind of predicted that it was gonna, like, just utterly get destroyed. Like, not utterly, but it's no, like, vibranium shield. But again, with Walker, like, immediately in the episode, he just starts chasing after, like, Carly. He's just vengeful. He's out for blood. And, like, even still, with him having his own super soldier serum, he gets his ass kicked still pretty easily by the Flag Smashers, who have no military training. He does, but they don't, so it's pretty sad. But then, of course, in a real nice turn of events, I was surprised by this, actually, was that there's two things where Carly's about to get away, or he can either catch Carly or grab this truck filled with a bunch of the senators about to, like, fall off a ledge. And Bucky can't catch it because he's not that strong to catch it in time and such. Plus, he wouldn't be able to do much if he caught it anyways. So he finally realizes that, no, this is insane. I'm just being bloodthirsty at this point. It's not what a Captain America would be. So he chooses to save the truck, and then they try attacking him still while he's trying to save the truck, but he's like pushing them off him, trying to save it. Which I thought that was really nice. Like, as a character, we were all like now rallying towards saying, screw you, go to jail, you want to be Captain America. I was quite surprised that, and I like that he actually, by the end, he's like, this is not what I need, I can't be, I'm truly not Captain America, I'm not, like, and by the end of the episode also, like, of course, he helps out, like, Bucky and Sam, like, catch the rest of the Flag Smashers, and very nicely, he doesn't, like, try to kill them all, he just, like, helps out Bucky catch the rest while Sam fights Carly. There's a nice little line where he kind of says, what was the line again? And I was like, I have it written down here. So the line he says in the thing was, mercy bears sweeter fruit than strict justice, which that's a nice line. They use an app, I think, to find, I don't know what they did in that scene, though. They use an app to find them, or track their phone, I guess. But yeah, it's a fun little scene. Him and Bucky have a quick little fun interaction. You know, Bucky's now coming around him a bit, where he says how, I guess he was like quoting Lincoln or something. So like Bucky's like, Lincoln? He's like, yeah, like it's good. And like, well, not when you say it. So like they kind of come around to one another now. He's like, I doubt Bucky, like, they're not friends, but he definitely like, okay, you're not bad, because you did help us there. So I did like that. And of course, by the end of the episode, Val, she gives him his U.S. agent costume and now gets that name. So very cool. And so it's interesting. So like he now realizes that he's. I honestly thought he would continue on in the MCU, keep calling himself Captain America, even though Sam's here now. But no, he's quite good with that. I mean, he kind of made peace. He gave like Sam a head nod with him. They nod towards each other. Like an approval sign of him doing that, saying, okay, yeah, you're the right Captain America, I'm not. But he is going to be a U.S. agent, so a different kind of hero than Captain America. We don't really know much else after that, because then Val leaves, and she says, when the time comes, we'll need you as the U.S. agent, so it's definitely setting up some kind of Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers, we're not really sure. I feel like this scene with Val will make more sense once we see Black Widow, because like as I said before last week, she was supposed to show up first in the Black Widow movie, which she will be, but of course delays happen, so she shows up here first. I feel like once we see that film, we'll get a better understanding about why she wanted Walker and such, so that should be interesting, so I'm excited about that. What else happened in the episode? Yeah, Batroc Leaper dies, he's dead, so he's gone. I'm kind of sad about that a little bit, because I'm like, I kind of wanted him to stick around, have like, maybe once in a while he shows back up like, hey, I'm Batroc, I'm back, leap. But no, Sharon kills him, which I'm like, I'm sad, but I'm like, okay, I guess. I mean, it's cool they at least brought him back still, so like, I guess there's not really much else you can do with Batroc afterwards, I guess. Like, I mean, he's not one of the biggest villains, so, I mean, it's important that we at least have Zemo still. He's still kicking around. We saw in the episode, you know, some of the Flag Smashers were going to be taken off to the raft, but then one of the soldiers that was resting them in the trucks was actually a member of the Flag Smashers too, so he says how, like, you know, don't worry, you're going to be fine. But as they start driving away, the truck explodes, and we see Zemo's butler actually cause that explosion, and then we hear in Zemo's cell over the radio about the explosion and such, and Zemo's happy, so his work is finished once again, he's killed more super soldiers, so it's very exciting. They're definitely planning something with Zemo still, so I'm excited to see where we see him next, so that should be exciting. What else? Making sure I don't forget anything. Oh yeah, Isaiah, don't forget about that. So yeah, Isaiah, Sam goes to see Isaiah again, like, and you know, and Isaiah saw, of course, the news broadcast of Sam giving his little speech and saying how, you know, I'm here to do what I believe doing right. I'm here to fight for justice and such. And like, you know, he's now come around more to Sam. He's like, you know, I'm glad that you're being Captain America now. And he's like, he's good now. He's at peace now with that. He's happy about this and such. And then Sam then takes him and his Eli to the Captain America Museum and shows him the exhibit they added dedicated to Isaiah. And in a very quick but very great scene where like Sam tells him that they'll never forget what you did now for this country, never. And like, of course, Isaiah embraces Sam with a big hug, and like in the quick scene, you just see like the facial reaction from Carl Lumbly, his actor, like just like it's you just see that like so much sorrow and pain being lifted from him in that face reaction, like they're finally gonna know what I did, like he like feels happy about that, just like it's a very quick facial reaction, but like you just tell all this like emotion, like weight being lifted off his shoulders. It feels like it was quite good acting there and such. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see Isaiah again. We probably will. Not sure how long, because we'll probably see. Because if they are gonna do Young Avengers at some point, we'll see Eli become the Patriot probably. I mean, we have a lot of Young Avengers in the MCU already. We have Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. We have Ant-Man's daughter Cassie in Ant-Man 3. We have Wanda's children, which they'll probably come back at some point. So yeah, we'll probably see him at some point again. We'll probably see Isaiah again. I'm not sure. I still want to see a flashback scene to when he was back in his prime as, you know, a Captain America character and fighting Winter Soldier. I doubt we'll see that. I mean, it's possible we could. I mean, there's a rumor about a Wolverine anthology series on Disney Plus where we would follow him throughout different decades. So maybe we could see Isaiah there, possibly. If they intend on doing that, I don't know. But I feel like we could do some cool stuff by showing a younger Isaiah and such, so yeah, that'd be awesome. Trying to think of what else. I think I covered everything. So yeah. Yeah, I think I covered everything. Yeah. Overall, this episode was, I would give it a, I'm tempted to give it 10 out of 10, but like maybe 9 out of 10. I would say, yeah, I'll go for it. I'll go not 10 out of 10. I'll say. I think this is a 10 out of 10 episode. Probably. I really didn't have any problem with it. I was shocked, though. I'll say I was shocked that there was no. A couple of things I predicted were not true. I thought there would be at least 2 after credit scenes, like WandaVision's final episode. There's only 1. I really thought there'd be some kind of scene with Zemo setting up the Thunderbolts. Nope. But we'll probably see it at some point. I really thought Rhodey would show up again, but I guess not. So that's interesting. So it's kind of weird. I guess not weird, but it's interesting how he's in the first episode of the show, very briefly, but that's it. Which I don't know. I thought that he might show up again, which would lead into maybe his Disney Plus show Armor Wars, but I don't know. I guess whatever. But yeah, I honestly, besides that, like it's a 10 out of 10. I think honestly, like it was quite good. The action was all great. The acting, like the themes and messages they were talking about, everything was like all really well done, honestly. So I'm hopeful. I would like to see them in a second season because they're like unlike WandaVision, where that was definitely a one story series, like just a limited thing. This has the potential to do more seasons, but now we've been hearing almost not long later. So we heard that apparently that we are getting a 4th Captain America movie. This actually is like official news. Is this like true? We're getting it. We're getting a 4th Captain America film with Sam as Captain America, the main lead, and we'll have the showrunner from the show like working on it and writers from the show and everyone. So that's exciting. So I'm not sure if we're gonna get another season of this. I'm not sure if Bucky will be in that movie. Maybe he will. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to expect from that film. Honestly, I thought we would get another season of this, but. If we do get a film, which we are getting a film, what am I saying? We are getting the 4th movie, which I'm down for that. There's still potential for a second season. Maybe they want to make it more focused on Bucky this time around, or John even. Who knows? But there's potential. But so movie still, that's awesome. I can't wait to see that whenever it comes out because the Phase 4 slate is still quite packed. So who knows when we'll see that movie? But yeah. So yeah, overall, this show, honestly, this show has become one of my favorite things in the MCU. Like, definitely up there, like, top 10, at least. I'm not sure if it's in top 5, maybe, but who knows? I have to, like, reevaluate my list again. It's quite good. I applaud this show a lot for, like, tackling some really serious subject matter stories of, like, of course, how America kind of treats black people, how, like, Isaiah was kind of subjugated and such, which, like, films like Black Panther kind of touched on a bit about how black people are kind of treated in the world, how, he says, how Wakanda, you weren't there for your people, like, our people were suffering around the world for years, and you could have helped them, which they touched on that a bit in that film, but they didn't really, in this show, they didn't hammer it in the message in Black Panther, unlike this show, where they really go full force in establishing that, it's not good in America for black people a lot of the time. Like, so they handled it quite well, like, and all the stuff with Isaiah was fantastic, and like Sam's whole thing about being nervous about, will they accept me as Captain America? I think it was all handled really well done, and even besides all the other things in the show, like all the character growth with Bucky, seeing his struggles, and like stuff with Zemo, like all John, like everything I thought was really great in the show. Like honestly, there was never a true villain. Like everyone was kind of like was fighting for different things. Like the Flag Smashers were supposed to be the actual villains, but even then they weren't really exact villains. And not even John Walker. He was kind of a villain, but even then not exactly. Zemo definitely wasn't the villain actually. Well, he really wasn't a villain at all. He kind of was, but not exactly. So honestly, I think this show overall is a 8 out of 10. Like the whole season. Because like there were minor things I wasn't like big fans on. Like some of the fight sequences were a bit. The cutty with like how, like they have very, very quick cuts and like fighting, like jumping around, kind of editing and such. I still wish we got a proper explanation behind Steve and where he is, but, it's minor things like that. But yeah, overall, this episode was a 10 out of 10. The whole show overall was a 8 out of 10. I quite dug it. Can't wait for that Captain America film and such, so it's quite good. I really dug this show. It's amazing. So, yeah. That's it for my reviews for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Thank you all for watching. Now, if you're wondering, I've not yet decided whether or not I'm going to keep doing weekly reviews of the other Marvel shows, like Loki comes out on June 11th. So I don't know if I'm going to do that one yet, because originally I had no intention on doing weekly reviews of this or WandaVision, but I did. So I'm not sure, because there's a lot of Marvel shows coming out. Like we also are getting What If at some point this year. And we might be getting, I think we're getting Hawkeye and Miss Marvel, like near the end of the year too. So I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff coming out, so I'm not sure if I'll do one for all of them. Loki's coming out very soon, so like another like month and a half. So we'll decide then. I'll let you'll know once if it comes out. So yeah. But thank you all for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below, what did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what did you think of the overall show? So yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later for about to say I'll see you guys later next week, but for no episode next week. So yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys all later. Goodbye.